much for being here. My name is Omboy. Good to see you all. Oh my god. Yet another day. Today is on Monday. Is it? Yeah, today is on Monday. Yet another good, great week. Okay. So guys, we are continuing to keep doing what we do over here. So and today we are back with an interesting topic, but before that, uh we will be looking forward to knowing how your weekend was. My name is Omboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wow. Kindly like, subscribe, ask me anything. We're talking about why do men get abusive in relationships. And this is not to paint a bad picture on men, is literally just a question that we're going to be asking ourselves. And we get a chance to understand men better by doing so, okay? So let me know where you're watching me from. My good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up even for the past days that I've come on here, guys. It means the world to me to literally come on here and stream and have you guys check on me. Some of you have become family. Some of you will become family. We're gonna continue creating a family on here on I Am Wamboy. My name is Wamboy. Good to see everybody. We're just getting started. My thing is so spinning very much. I'm wondering if I'm live, but I am hoping I am. Okay, so wow. Okay, why is this thing spinning so much? Oh, okay, we are fine. Okay, welcome to the live stream. My name is Wamboy. Oh my god. Let me know where you're watching me from, but in the meantime, I'll be typing before you guys say hi. Okay, so that's what we are gonna be asking ourselves. Why do men get abusive in relationships? Oh my god, you gotta get yourself ready with some juice or something on the side. Oh my. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. My name is Wamboy. Let me know how you're doing. How was your weekend? Where are you watching me from? Okay. So, growing up, and of course, even my adult life, I have literally noticed and this is not even to put any shade to men. Men are literally nice people, okay? But we're asking ourselves, and on this one, I would like men to participate more, and also women who have been in situations where you've been abused by a man. Why do men get abusive in relationships? Why do men get abusive in relationships? So that's what you're gonna be asking. And of course, I have my own assumptions or my own recordings and findings, but also we're gonna be understanding in depth what do men really go through that makes them get angry, that makes them feel like the only way that they can express themselves is through, what is it called, punching, okay? So I think a big one is how most men were raised. Okay, a lot of men are taught not to express emotions. The only way that they are allowed to communicate, to express their heart, to express their jealousy, to express their insecurity is through anger. Okay, men are not allowed to express any emotion apart from anger. Like, it's okay for a man to be angry, but is it okay for a man to say that, you know what, that hurt me? Is it okay for a man to say that that is making me feel jealous? Okay, is it okay for a man to cry? Those are the questions that you're gonna be asking yourself. Irazile Mohimi says hi to you, good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Wamboy. Let me know where you're watching me from and what is your opinion when it comes to what we're talking about. Why do men get abusive in relationships? Okay, so as I was saying, I'm gonna be talking about my own assumptions. Okay, this is not to say that this is why men get abusive in relationships, but that's why we have you here to tell us, if you're a man, why do men get abusive in relationships? And if you're a woman who have been abused before in relationships, why do you think men get abusive? In your own findings, in your own judgment, why do you think men get abusive? Okay, so as I was saying, I think men are allowed to express anything the only way that men are allowed to express anything is through anger. Like a man is allowed to be angry, but a man is not allowed to be hurt. A man is not allowed to say that, you know what, I'm jealous. A man is not allowed to cry. So the only way that they can express how they feel is through anger, and that anger leads to the punching thing. Punching, okay? Why does his like done? Thank you so much. Welcome to the live stream. Why does says hi, how is your beautiful day going, mom? It's going good, it's going good. It's even better because you guys are here. Okay, so that's what you're talking about, and I would like to know you guys' opinion. Why do men get abusive in relationships? That's what you're talking about. Do you think, okay, I'm giving my own assumptions, and of course I'm not a man, my own assumptions and my own conclusions, and also I'm a social scientist, which means like I do have like some of the things that we did learn, so I'm gonna be applying some of them here. But of course you have personal experiences. If you're a man and you are abusive, or you've been abusive before, in your opinion, what led you to feeling that way? Okay, so as I was saying, the only emotion that truly, especially in African traditional societies, and also even in the Western world, okay, the only emotion that a man is allowed to feel without judgment is anger. You can talk about how anger, okay, anger is the only emotion that society allows men to show. Okay, you can feel anything, okay, but the only thing that you're allowed to say is, you know what, I'm angry. As a man, that's the only. Women, we are allowed to say we are frustrated, we are allowed to cry, we are allowed to say we are jealous, we are allowed to say all these things. But why don't we give that to our men? Okay, user Ox5ZY says SCDCC. Okay, what does that mean? Welcome to the live stream. My name is Omboy, guys. We're talking about why do men get abusive in relationships, okay? And this conversation cannot be done without your conclusion or without your contributions, okay? So the other point, and I'm giving my own assumptions, okay, or my own judgment, in my own judgment. The other thing that I observe with men is entitlement, okay? Most men do believe, like, the moment that they are seeing somebody or they are dating somebody, they do believe that they own their partner, and like that partner needs to obey them. Okay, most men believe that their women should, okay, without question, be obedient, without any question whatsoever. Okay, so that's another thing that makes men to be aggressive. So when they realize, oh, this woman is not willing to be obedient, then it's like, oh my god, what? Okay, that whole entitlement thing, that's the thing that makes you feel upset when your woman is saying hi to people. That's the same, you know. Okay, let me keep reading. San says, welcome, okay, to the live stream. How are you, my dear friend? I'm doing great. Comedy God's Production says, what's female Agnes Taichon? I really don't know, but thank you for joining in Daily Morning Walk. That's good. Barin Homosot. Okay. Amina says, you're the definition of pretty. Thank you so much, guys. My name is Omboy. Make sure you're keeping liking the live stream. We're talking about why do men get abusive in relationships, okay? And I'm giving my own assumptions. For example, I've talked about the only emotion that men are allowed to share is anger. Okay, men are not allowed, mostly. Okay, right now we've seen men who have been like, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna express how I feel. But most men are not allowed to show their anger. They are not, okay, the only emotion that men are allowed to show is anger, which comes as a result, the punching, the whole, you know. But they're not allowed to cry, they're not allowed to say, you know what, I'm frustrated, I'm feeling jealous, I'm feeling that, this. The other thing that I've talked about, and these are my assumptions, is entitlement. Most men do believe that they own the women that they have. Okay, when you realize that your woman is not trying to be obedient to you, then that's a problem. Okay, let me read yours. Bridget says, Kenya, welcome to the building. Texas Aviation says, hello from America. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Why do you think men get abusive in relationships, in your opinion? Okay, and I would like men to contribute so much here, and also women who have been in these situations. Let us know, why do you think this happens? Amina Gomesh, you're so pretty. Thank you so much. And also, the other thing that I want us to know is, like, if you're in a situation where you're being abused, you should literally seek help, contact the authorities in your area. There's no reason to stay in an abusive situation, especially physical abuse. Mental abuse is as bad, but like the physical one, no excuse for staying. Abdul Bundu says blatantly disrespectful women. Okay, so according to Abdul, the reason why men become aggressive is because women are disrespectful. But can we say women are disrespectful, or is it because that you guys have realized that the modern day woman cannot be controlled? The modern day woman also makes money like you guys. The modern day woman sets boundaries. The modern day woman knows what she wants. The modern day woman is out there hunting like you are also hunting. Okay, can we say that like the reason why men are aggressive is because women are disrespectful? Or can we just say like uh that's not the reason? Can okay, I can see the whole disrespect thing, but I feel like it comes from somewhere. Nicholas Mandakura says, okay, we get it. Okay. Welcome to the building, you guys. We are talking about why do men get abusive in relationships. Okay, Nicholas, instead of agreeing, let us know, why do you think men get abusive in relationships? Okay, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, I have talked about the only emotion that men are allowed to share is anger. The other thing that I've talked about is entitlement. Okay, men feel entitled to the women that they are seeing, so which means like I can literally discipline you, I own you, I can put my hands on you. Like you know, when for example when it comes to children, the reason why we feel like we can discipline our children is because we own them. Okay, for some men, because they own their women, that's why you feel so free to like, oh, you know, you're mine, I can literally discipline you. Okay, so but these are just assumptions from one boy, guys, and that's why we are here, so that you guys can also share your part. Okay, the other part is learned behavior. Some people grew up in abusive households. Some people grew up in households where their fathers put their hands on their women, or on their mothers. So it's a learned behavior. Like, if my mom went through that, why wouldn't I put my hands on you? Like, my mom persevered that. It's literally a learned behavior, okay? It's literally a learned behavior. So that's another reason why why men get abusive in relationships. If someone grew up seeing abuse in their home, it can be normalized. Like, for them, it's just okay, I just discipline you, the next time we don't talk about it, and we just move on with our life like nothing ever happened. Nicholas says a relationship should be 50-50. How about when it comes to abuse? Should also women put their hands on men? Like, what do you think about that? Sudais Hassan says, what is this stereotype of men? Oh my god. Okay, no, literally, it's not a stereotype. It's just reality, something that happens. It might not happen from where you're from, but it literally happens. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me tell you something. Sudais, okay? When I started this live stream, if you play back, I said it's not a stereotype. It's not something that I'm putting to men. I'm saying it's something that's out there. And the fact that we all are uncomfortable talking about the abuse that happens in our household, that doesn't help anything. I grew up in a household where there was abuse, okay? So I literally know what I'm talking about. It's not all men in general, but most men. Why do men get abusive in relationships? Why do they get abusive in relationships? Which means if your man, or like if the man that we're talking about doesn't have these factors going on in his life, he's not abusive. If your man is secure, he's not insecure. If he has everything under control, if he doesn't feel any need to own you, okay? Can you stop saying men as a whole? I'm sorry, you can't find a good man, but you can't reflect that on all men. And who told you I can't find a good man? Okay, this is the problem that we have in the society. We really don't want to talk about the hard topics. Okay, we don't want to talk about the hard things. Nidhi says, hello, new subscriber. Where are you from? I'm from Kenya. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And I don't want anybody to get misled by the topic and think that like I'm bashing all men, that this is what all men are. It's just like okay, and especially maybe Sudais has, and maybe you're not from African countries, but it's literally common. Anybody from Africa, lift your hand if you haven't had your neighbor put their hands on their women, or even the village that you grew up in. Okay. We can't sit here and pretend like it's all roses so that people can see it's not all roses. Okay, these things happen. I have personal experience. I don't have a personal experience. That's have never happened to me because I've never been married, but I have personal experience with people that I love. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, why are you saying most men show me statistics? You can just, you know what, make Google your friend. Okay, make Google your friend. Google the number of women that they that get abused in relationship. They are literally out there. The other day I was looking at the statistics because I literally just don't come here with topics. I research them first. I was looking at the number of women who abuse their men, and 1 out of 7 women get abused by their women. Okay, 1 out of 7 men get abused by their women. Okay, so that statistic is so low, but when it comes the other way around, it's just like Small Rasta says, let me ask you a question. Why African women cheat on their men all the time? Why? I really don't know. I really don't know because I don't do that, so I don't know. So Small Rasta, I would like you to tell us or to tell me, okay, why do you think men get abusive? And that could be another reason. Feeling like your women are cheating on you. It could be a thing of like entitlement or something. I'm from Cameroon. I'm from Cameroon, living in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, good to see you. Wow, it's so rare for me to find somebody from Cameroon. Good to see you. I'm actually from Kenya, so again, you're stereotyping. Okay, if you're from some place where that doesn't happen, that's okay. From from where I grew up, I have literally live experiences of so many of these things. Abuse do happen. Okay, the other day I was watching a video from a very popular person on YouTube. Okay, they were putting their father in his place because he's been abusing their mom from since they were little. Okay, so these things are things that are literally happening. It might not happen. Good for you, fortunate for you, it doesn't happen to you. It has never happened near you, which is okay. Okay, Sudai says, what do you mean? Okay, Lynn says, hi to you, Lynn. Good to see you. Okay, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you after we did the 48-hour thing, which literally backed down. What is your core? Nidhi says, what is your core of your live stream? Okay, every day we come on here with topics. We will have different topics throughout the week. Monday different, Tuesday different, Wednesday different, or every day different. Okay, depending on what you're gonna be talking about that day. So yeah, so that's what the core is about. Hassan says, you haven't even been married, how can you even say this stuff? Oh, my friend, some of us, we've been living this reality in our own households where we were born and raised. Okay, some of us, we are product of like abuse. We were one of those people who you would sit like that hearing your father come in and you're like, oh my god, again. We are one of those, when we hear a little bit of shout back there, we know it's about to get, okay, it's about to get smoky in here. Okay, I don't have to get married to know that abuse happens. Okay, because abuse also affects children when you're growing up. If you grew up in a household where there is abuse, or even neighbors or whatever, abuse affects people that are around you. So I don't have to experience it firsthand, and I'm not trying to experience it. I'm not trying to experience abuse firsthand. I'm not trying to have some man put his hands on me just for me to learn. Okay, I already learned my lesson by seeing that happen to people that I care about, people that I love. So I'm not trying to make myself a statistic or an experiment. Okay, so but let me tell you, you might deny as much as you want and say like abuse doesn't happen, but it literally happens. Does that mean that all men are bad? No, it doesn't mean that. Okay, honestly, if you've been here long enough, you know I'm the strongest advocate for men. Okay, men are literally good people. There is nobody who can guard you like a man. Okay, nobody can hold you up like a man. Okay, there's no person who can hold you like that. But at the same time, I'm wise enough to know the other side to men. The 48-hour stream was okay. I know. Guitar Leon says, hi to you, Guitar. You normally have a lot of opinions when it comes to topics. We are talking about why do men get abusive in relationships, and I wanted to have like a very inside look to this, to get to see why do men abuse women. Okay, so maybe if you don't mind, you can contribute to that, because somebody is saying that like it doesn't happen. somebody says that like I'm just hallucinating, but it's have always happened, especially if you're from African countries. Like you would literally be lying saying that men don't discipline their women. They used to do it, and some men are still doing it to date. It's only that we are so comfortable hiding that. Okay. Guys, welcome to the live stream. My name is Wamboy. I was born and raised in Kenya. Kindly like the live stream, subscribe, you know. Sudai says, okay, my question is, you're being sexy, saying the man is the abuser in the relation. Okay, you know what? I'm literally done explaining to you. If you've never experienced any form of abuse, good for you. We are here for the people who have experienced any form of abuse, not even firsthand. Even if your parent have ever experienced that, your mom, your dad, your neighbor, anybody, because it affects us in some type of way. Okay. Lynn says, I'm super excited for 14th birthday. I literally don't know how I feel about you being 14, but like, okay, we are gonna be celebrating your birthday when the time comes. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for always hanging out with me. My name is Omboy. Olaf says, holy moly, holy guacamole. Welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Lynn Henry says, but the hair cute, new hairstyle. Thank you so much. David Njoroge says, hi to you. Welcome to the live stream. We're talking about, and also I'm liking a lot of, maybe I appreciate a lot of contribution from men when it comes to this topic, because men are the ones that can tell us what happens, what makes men to be abusive. Okay, Sudai says, you're getting absolutely schooled on this debate. I cannot get schooled on this debate. Okay, first of all, you cannot school somebody who's been through abuse firsthand. Okay, I literally don't even to prove a point, because I know it happens. Seen it with my own eyes, experienced it with my own mind. Okay, that's trauma that lives in me. You cannot tell me anything about abuse. I know everything about abuse. Okay. Olaf says, yo, miss you. I miss you too. I was about to go live yesterday on Sunday at night. I was like, oh my god, I just want to be in front of the camera, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, haven't you? I was a witness. Okay, I was a witness. Okay, I haven't experienced it. Okay, I don't have to have a man put his hands on me to know that abuse happens. Okay, guys, if you believe that abuse towards women happen, raise your hands. Okay, raise your hands on the thing. Oh, just shut up. Move on. Okay, what an interesting topic. Okay. Okay, so the other thing, my own assumptions why abuse happen towards why do men get abusive. So my other assumption is insecurity, which is literally a huge one. A man who feels inadequate might try to bring his partner down to feel superior. Okay, so that's just this whole dynamic about like you don't feel good about yourself, and because maybe your partner feels so good about themselves, they are so in tune with how they feel, you kind of tell to the only way that you can show that you're superior than them if you don't feel good about yourself is by bringing the other person down. Okay, the only way that you can make yourself feel better is by bringing other people down. Okay, if you literally have nothing to do with your own life. Okay, so okay, you know what, Hassan, just leave me alone. Okay, keep moving. Okay, so I was talking about insecurity that happens in relationship. A man, even okay, and it's both ways. Even a woman who feels down will literally try to bring you down. A man who feels inadequate might try to bring his partner down to feel superior. Okay, that can show up as emotional abuse, insults, or even isolation. Okay, but unfortunately for most men, it shows up as like physical abuse, because that's the only way that a man can show you that he's literally a man. is by abusing you, because that's one thing that you cannot do back to him. Okay, you can throw insults, you can isolate yourself, you can go mute, you can do the ghosting thing, everything that you can do, you can literally do it. But the only thing most of the time that you cannot do, you cannot put your hands on him, and that's another thing that men usually do. Okay. Okay, and remember, this is live stream with Omboy. My name is Omboy. So why do men get abusive in relationships? That's what you're talking about. Uh, and I had a man here, Devin Joroge, says, what an interesting topic. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put a question out there right now. Okay, can an abusive man actually change, or is it a myth? Okay, let me type it. Can an abusive man literally change, or is it a myth? Okay, we are talking about abuse. Let me know if you've ever experienced abuse firsthand. Somebody out here is telling us that, like, it's literally an illusion that I'm having, that it doesn't happen. But you cannot tell me abuse doesn't happen. Well, I've experienced it firsthand. Okay, we might try to hide it as much as possible. Something that I said that I'll never do. I'll never sit here and say that abuse doesn't happen when I know it does, and it has affected people that I do care about. Okay. Can an abusive man actually change, or is it a myth? Guys, make sure you're liking. Make sure you're liking as we continue. That's the question. Let me pin it. Godson and welcome to the live stream, Godson, and thank you so much for coming back. Hello. Abusive people like to abuse easy targets when they are frustrated. It's a mental health issue. Okay, so but what causes them to be abusive? What causes them to be abusive? That's literally what we are looking at. What causes them to be abusive? I have given my own assumptions. I've talked about insecurity, entitlement, feeling like, you know what, I do own you. The other thing, the insecurity thing, is literally vital, because when somebody is feeling insecure about themselves, the only thing that they can do is bring you down, and the only way to bring you down is by, let me tell you, physical abuse, somebody putting their hands on you, literally messes with your confidence so badly. And that's something that I want men to know. The moment you're putting your hands on your woman, you're literally messing up with her confidence. That person will never be the same again. That person will never be as confident as they used to be. Okay, that person will never be. You're literally messing up with your self-esteem. That's something that I want everybody to know. Even though I'm being told that I have this illusion that abuse happens, while I know some of us, we used to, and fortunately enough, in our household, like, my dad was not like an alcoholic. Okay, but my neighbors, their fathers were alcoholic. They would hear their father from a distance. Even if you're cooking, you just take that food off of the what are they called, the stove or whatever. It used to be haywire. Oh God, don't even take me back mentally. Sony Match says, hello, is it okay to lock your partner in the bedroom while you go to work? Oh my God. Are you asking for yourself? No. Okay, and I don't want to use curse words here, but hell no. Okay? No, it's not. That's a form of control. Because why are you locking them in the bedroom? Okay? What do you guys think about that? Like, why would you lock somebody in the bedroom when you go to work? So the answer is hell no. Like, everybody deserves right to freedom, to movement. It's literally like they are in a jail in that relationship. Okay? Oh my Lord. Guys, we have a question on the screen. Can an abusive man actually change, or is it a myth? And guys, we're talking about why do men get abusive in relationships. Okay, and I would like men to tell me, in your opinion, I have at least given some of the points that I think happens. What happens? I think the only way that men are allowed to express how they feel is through anger. The other thing is insecurity. The other thing that we've talked about is entitlement. Okay, let me keep reading. David Joroge says, personally, an abusive person, whether male or female, will always be abusive. It's never easy for people to change their character. Okay, and I know for men who grew up in a household where the father was abusive, or like you grow up seeing a man in your life being abusive. I know most people do try to change that, because that, especially men, boys, children, they literally, their mothers are their soul. When they see that happen to their mother, it literally breaks something in them. Okay, but I would literally challenge, because as the generation that we are at, even if that happened to you, don't carry that to your generation. Don't carry that to the woman that you love. Okay, find other ways to express yourself, not by putting your hands on somebody. Okay, Godson says women get abusive as well towards children or weaker targets, and I know that, and I know that happens. Actually, for me to come up with this topic, I was researching how many men uh, get abused by women, and I saw 1 out of 7 men have probably been abused by their women, but men are afraid to report because it's literally shameful. Like, oh my god, your woman put her hands on you. Okay, but but okay, well, it's very uncommon for women to put their hands on their men. It literally happens. Okay. uh-huh Rookie says, I love your hair. Thank you so much. Welcome to the live stream. Titus Brata says, I love your forehead. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So the other thing, we are talking, remember guys, we have a question on the screen. Can an abusive man actually change, or is it a myth? Make sure you are answering that as you keep moving. Remember, you're talking about why do men get abusive in relationships, okay? So the other thing that we can talk about when it comes to abuse, okay, we've talked about learned behavior. If you grew up seeing people being abusive, like for you, it's just the new normal. Like you're used to tension, you're used to chaos. That's what you want. Okay, the other one is lack of accountability. Uh, if someone has never been held, if someone has never been held responsible for their actions, they keep escalating because nothing steps in. Okay, let me tell you, and this one I'm gonna tell to women. Okay, um, this one, lack of accountability. This one I'm gonna tell to women. The moment somebody abuses you and you don't report, you're literally you're literally enabling them. Okay, it might be scary to report somebody, but I have seen people, because of course I grew up where I grew up in, it was literally a village, and it was usual for men to discipline women. Okay, it was usual for like to hear a woman screaming on the other side of the street, but it was, oh, it's so and so's wife, he's disciplining her. It was just so common. But because nothing was ever done, these men kept doing it. These men kept being abusive. These men kept being whatever they were. Okay, which means I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're in a relationship and your partner, I don't care if it's male or female, somebody is putting their hands on you, if you literally don't leave or report them, just report them, get some help. Okay, if you don't do that, you're literally enabling them. Because another point why men keep getting abusive is because lack of accountability. Nothing happens when they do something of this sort. Nothing happens when they put their hands on somebody. Nothing happens when they abuse you. Nothing happens when they, even in marriage, marital rape, nothing happens when they rape you even though you're married to them. Nothing happens, nobody reports them. Okay, yeah, so that's that. So if someone have never been held responsible for their actions, they keep escalating because nothing stops them. Okay, if you are a man, type M. Okay, that's a good thing, that's a good thing to somewhere to begin. Okay, and I know most people on my channel, or most followers on my channel, are literally men. I see it by the statistics. Like, men literally enjoy. We usually have topics, full topics right here, but today, you guys, I got you, because we've been talking about all the other things, like how women disrespect men, but we don't talk about, first of all, why are men abusive? Why do men keep being abusive? How about on the other side, women keep abusing and harming their men, but the men are told to man up. That right now you're talking, that's literally a point right there. Okay, some women are literally aggressive. What is it called? It's like they're saying, okay, if you're man enough, hit me. If you're man enough, hit me. Let me tell you right now, ladies, if you're in the chat right now, don't ever do that with a man. If you tell a man like that, like, oh, if you're a lady, if you're literally a man, hit me, he is literally gonna put his hands on you and you're not gonna like it. Okay, so honestly, that one hasn't, that's literally a point right there. Women are also aggressive towards men sometimes. Richard, welcome to the building. Greetings from sunny Northeast Ohio. Wamboi. Hey, I even have a nickname, Wami. Good to hear that soothing, brilliant voice. Okay, good to see you. Okay, how are you doing? Oh my God, thank you so much for always coming back. Titus Brata says, men may be more abusive because of testosterone. Okay, can we say that men are abusive because of testosterone? Okay, which is literally an emotional thing. We always say that women are childlike, what is it called? Frustrated, angry, and all of this, especially during the luteal phase, before your periods and also during periods. Men are told to like put up with us, whatever we are doing, like it's not us, it's our hormones. But because men are told to put up with that, okay, but can we also say it's because of testosterone? And literally that's literally a bright one, Titus, for bringing it up, because we are talking about, like, we always tell men, okay, put up with your lady, cuddle her, do this, do that to her during periods. But what if men also need the same because of testosterone? Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, wow, good to see you all. Richard says, I'm cool, good to see you. Okay, I'm also doing great. Rocky says, I just subscribed. Thank you so much. Guys, remember we have a question on the screen. It's literally pinned right there. Can an abusive man actually change, or is it a myth? That's the question that we're asking. And for the men in the chat, I really don't want you to feel attacked. I want you to tell us, why do you guys get abusive? Titus says it's because of testosterone, which is literally valid. Because we also tell men that, like, we behave the way we do because of periods, because of our hormones, okay? Even though for us it literally makes sense, because oh my God, do you know how tough? I have never brought a life, but I have just seen it on videos, and just imagining what it is like, the whole thing of like giving birth is just a lot, a handful. Sudai Hassan says, excuse me, Titers, that is one of the most stupid points I've ever heard. That only happens in animals. Testosterone just makes you more biologically mature. For example, you grow taller, broader chest. Okay, but it's literally, but you know, I think according to Titus, it's literally hormones. I think he was just trying to be sarcastic in another way, but also at the same time, aren't men allowed to say that, you know what, I'm abusive because I have hormones, okay? Because we women say that sometimes when you are throwing insults, when we are not being so nice, we always say it's because of our hormones. Maybe it is because of their hormones also. Who knows? Ezekiel says, hey, one boy, I'm back. Hello. How are you? How is my country? Okay, great. How are you doing, Ezekiel? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Ezekiel, I'm literally looking for you guys to tell us, why do men get abusive in relationships? Also, I want to experience it firsthand from men, like to know what goes on, okay? And I know some men who grew up with abusive fathers, they literally did swear that, like, I will never allow that to happen, okay? That will never happen to somebody that I love. I will never abuse a woman, because they saw the type of turmoil and pain that their mother was going through, okay? But that doesn't apply to anybody. Some people are just like, okay, my mother got abused, I'm gonna pay back by beating the crap out of you. Godson says, some men are abusive because of alcohol, or some be violent because of things that happened at a young age. Okay, so, okay, literally what I was talking about, can you say it's literally trauma, okay? Let's say things that happen to their mamas. And you know what? These things are happening, okay? And I know it because I have experienced abuse. Not directly to me, but to somebody that I love. And it have literally affected me. Like, I just can't move on from that, okay? I just literally cannot. So I'm also assuming that also happens to male children. They never are able to move on from that. when you see, let me tell you, when you're a young child, you're so helpless. You see somebody abusing your parent. It's literally one of the hardest thing that you can ever have to look at or like to go through. David Njoroge says, abuse is abuse. It comes in many ways and forms. Personally, I don't support any form of abuse. Just as God's son said, people need to address their mentality before engaging in a relationship. Okay, yeah, and this is, I think this is so important. Like, and I know most of us, okay, and I know some of us, we are not even comfortable sharing our childhoods, okay, but so many things happened because the generation of our parents, I don't know who raised them, but they're literally broken and they have been abusing each other, and they have broken us also as a generation internally. On the outside we are good, but I'm so grateful for this generation Z, because we are literally choosing ourselves, okay, we are literally choosing to say no, this can't happen, okay, we are literally the generation that's even willing to cut off toxic family members, to cut off our parents. So to just I think agree to what David is saying, if you've ever been abused, if you've ever witnessed abuse before, and I know you carry that pain with you, just before you get in a relationship, heal that, because that might make you to be abusive to another person. Ezekiel says, I'm doing well here in Canada. Okay, wow, good to see you. Mr. David, your Astron guy, says hi. Hi to you, welcome to the live stream. We're talking about why do men get abusive, and I would like to know your opinion, David. Like, why do you think, in your opinion, firsthand, why do men get abusive? Okay, so the other thing, and also I said that the points that I'm giving from my end, I subscribe and like give you like, thank you so much, David. And I said the things that I'm giving from my head is literally my personal observation and also personal assumptions. As I told you, I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat and say that like, oh, I've only seen abuse on television. Let me tell you, okay, it used to go down, okay, it used to go it used to go down. So literally, all these things, I'm not talking about some things that I've watched on television or Netflix, okay, I've watched things that I've seen firsthand. And the point that is more important to me, lack of accountability, okay, I have seen men or even women, I've seen men who have abused okay, let me just be so clear. In my village, men used to abuse women, and I don't know if my villagers are watching this. It's just literally the truth, and there's nothing you can do to change that. It's literally the truth, okay? And I'm gonna be real with you all, okay? So that used to happen, and nothing. If your father beat your mom, like nothing used to happen, because they used not to even report. Okay, it used to be a normal affair. Even if you report, everybody thinks that you're crazy because wow, you're reporting that your husband disciplined you. It's just supposed to be common because women are supposed to be obedient to their men. Godson says, I won't lie, my anger is too high. I don't want people who tease me and talking about my mother. Wow, okay. Okay, so let me tell you guys, and I don't know how many of you guys usually follow I Am Mara, and God. So the reason I'm saying this, I was watching a video. I watched a video of like him and his brother try to contain his father, because he's been putting his hands on his mom for their whole lifetime. Okay, and right now these people are famous, they're doing good, and he's still doing the same, putting his hands on their mom. Okay, and then they just got to a point where like, you're not literally gonna do this anymore. Like, you cannot put your hands on our mom. Okay, so when you say that, like talking about my mother, when somebody talks about it, really triggers you. And I know it's a story for many men, like you don't want to see anybody messing with your mom. Dijibini Ngome says, hello, good to see you, welcome to the live stream. Where are you watching me from? And I think it would just be nice for you guys to say your country, where you're watching me from, so that we can see that abuse is literally universal, okay? It's not, and I'm saying I have been talking about Africa because that's what I have experienced firsthand, okay? But I also know that even in the Western world, it also happens. Hassan says, okay, I'm sorry if that happens to you, but you can't just project that to all men. And I know you can't project that to all men, but that's why we're talking about it. Some men are abusive, okay? And also, I think, I don't know why you're upset, but some men here are just so okay with talking about their frustration, what triggers them, because it's one way to healing or like to finding their solutions. Okay, are men in the chat literally they are not upset because everybody is telling why do they get upset, and maybe we can learn from that. Maybe somebody will watch this video and they can learn from that. Your trauma shouldn't affect the other men's representation. Okay, Godson says, like, when someone just fight for no reason, even pranks can make my anger too high. And I think that's the first point that we talked about. The only thing that men are allowed to express is anger. That's the only feeling that men are really allowed to express. All the other things, oh, you're just being a little woman, you're being a girl. When a man cries, you're being a girl. No, he's just being human. Okay. Hassan says, so now your evidence comes from videos. I'm just saying, research more, it can really help you actually win arguments. Okay. No. Okay, I am telling you that this information that I'm giving here is literally first hand. Okay, first hand information. Hapo kwa on umeandika okay, I see that. Okay, it's okay. Thank you. Stephen Moria says, hi to you, Stephen. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream, guys. If this is your first time ever seeing me, my name is Womboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes. So we are talking about why do men get abusive in relationships. Okay, why do men? And because I know you guys are wondering, why are we not talking about women? Okay, why are we not talking about women? That the day for talking about women will come, but today let's talk about men. Okay, we'll be looking forward to knowing how your weekend was. My name is Omboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wow. Any like, subscribe, ask me anything. We're talking about why do men get abusive in relationship. And ridiculous. Okay. Okay. I see I've typed wrong, but I'm not allowed to. Paul Matal says, Oilonda. Let me check on the phone. Hi, I am from Brazil. Okay, Brazil in the building. Thank you so much. Stephen Maria says, you've typed with wrong. Okay, I see it. Sorry, I can't clarify that. Beautiful out girl, thank you so much for being here, guys. Make sure you're subscribing and liking. Godson says, but women start stupid things sometimes. That is the reason I don't want to be in a relationship with a woman who has arguments with stupid things. I be angry too fast. But you know what, okay, as far as you want to be in a relationship with a woman, it will always happen, because first of all, there's something that women usually go through every other time. Okay, and I know you guys know about this. Like, you literally can't control, especially the luteal phase. I'm telling you guys firsthand. That sometimes it just takes over all over you. Okay, let me see if I can type again and give us our answer, because you're so much pushing for us to change the the question. Okay, I didn't see when I was typing. Can okay, okay, so the other thing I think we've talked about, so why do men get abusive in relationships? We've talked about the only way that men are allowed to express themselves is through anger. The other thing we've talked about is lack of accountability, the fact that nothing happens to men when there's marital rape. And guys, I don't know if you guys know that there's a problem with marital rape. Even though you're married to somebody, you literally don't own their body. You have to ask every other time. Okay, the other thing is entitlement. Okay, men feel like, oh, I own you, so if I own you, I can discipline wherever I want. It's like a child. for so many men, their women is like a child to them. Okay, guys, and please, if you contradict, or if you think that what I'm saying doesn't make sense, make sure you're telling us, why do men get abusive in relationships? And also, if you're a man, we literally need your opinion, because we need to know firsthand. For example, like Godson says he just have anger issues, okay, and he gets so offended by the stupid things that women sometimes do. Okay, you can tell us yours, and we will see. Okay, somebody else says it's a power issue, somebody else says it's their childhood. Okay, so it's not literally something, it's not, this is not a feminist topic, it's just a topic to open our eyes. Okay, so the other thing we said about learned behavior, if you saw your father doing that, you might just assume that's what men you should do. Okay, when you're upset, that's just what you do. The other thing that we talked about is insecurity. Being insecure, a man who feels inadequate might try to bring his partner down just so that he can feel better. Okay, but I understand you, but there are women who are stubborn. Okay, and I also know that. I also know that. And I keep saying, before I decided to do this topic, I had done research looking how many out of, okay, I was looking for the statistic of how many men get abused by women, but the statistic was 1 out of 7 women have been abused before by a woman, which is little. Most men don't usually report when they are abused by their women because it's shameful. Okay, yeah, it's just not something that men are comfortable with. Okay, the other thing that now we have to talk about is control and power. Some men feel like they are losing control in a relationship. Okay, which is, I think this is a reason for so many men, especially for men who get married to strong women who have their own jobs, women who can be able to provide for themselves, women who are out there becoming great professors, becoming all these good careers. So maybe the women is more independent, earning more or setting boundaries, uh, instead of like being supportive. So most men, let me tell you one thing that I've realized with men want to dominate. Okay, or men are meant to be the leaders. Okay, so when you're in a household and you're literally earning more than your man, he's going to feel demasculated. Okay, he was supposed to be feeling masculine, but because you're making more than him, he literally cannot tell you nothing. So that can also cause him to say, you know what, I'm still the man of this household, and the only way that he can show you that he's a man is by putting his hands on you. Okay, that's the only way that he can show you that he's a man. So that's another factor. Especially, this is a very important one, and I know women who have a career, women who earn great, they're independent and all those things. Yeah, men try to humble them, men try to bring them down. Okay, so control and power. So some men feel like they are losing control in a relationship. Maybe the woman is more independent, earning more, or setting boundaries, and instead of adjusting, they try to dominate. Okay, so what would I say? What would you do if your woman? Okay, let me ask this question: how many people are okay if they are how many men are okay if their women earn more than they do? How many men are okay if their women earn more than they do? Let's do that question. Okay, oh, you're typing very fast. Okay, I usually do like that. The other time is just because I was just tired live streaming. Also, what do you mean try bring them down? Men are the machine in relationship. Okay, get that right. And I know men are supposed to be the head. Let me tell you, naturally, men are supposed to be the leaders. Men are supposed to be the one who are out there hunting and gathering. They're supposed, and also now adjusting to the modern day lifestyle, men are supposed to be out there. They're the one who are providing. They're the one who are doing all these things. Okay, and I'm aware to that. But in the current generation, women are out here accomplishing things. Women are out here owning homes. Women are out here buying great, like, modern cars, cool cars. Women are out here doing all these things for themselves. So in a relationship, and a man is supposed to feel superior, or like he's supposed to dominate because he's able to provide, he's able to put roof over these people's head. But this woman, remember, this woman can do these things for herself. Okay, so there's a lot of there's a lot of, what is it called, uh difference when it comes to that, because the man wants to be the provider, the man wants to be the one who is in control, and the woman literally can be able to take care of herself, okay? And I'm talking about strong independent women, I'm talking about women who provide for themselves, I'm talking about women who literally have learned the art of just staying by themselves, and they're in relationships, they can be able to look after themselves, but they're in the relationships. Okay, you're saying women don't need men. No, no, that's not what I'm saying. Just pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm saying sometimes when you get married to somebody, you're in the same level, they're even doing uh the woman is even doing worse than you, or like they are below you, but within some time this woman is a career woman, she becomes very independent, her she get an increase in her salary, she gets increase in all these things, like she literally gets better, okay, than you. Instead of adjusting as a man, what do? You try to put them in their place by beating them up, okay? um No, the man doesn't. I mean, I think most men will want to be like women, just chill at home and do nothing. No, some men say that they want to do that, but the moment that he's doing that, okay, you're out there providing, okay? Let me tell you, the moment you come home and that man is just sitting there at home cleaning dishes, cleaning the children, changing pampers, and all of these things, he will feel like he is not a man. And how will he show you that he's a man? By putting his hands on you. But I said, when I started talking about this, I said I'm not a man myself. So these are just my personal observation from the men that I've seen, from the abuse stories that I've seen with my own eyes, and the ones that I've been told, okay? Why do men get abusive in relationships? And this is not to bash men, literally, in any way. It's not intended to bash men. It's just meant to bring out the thing. And also, I want men to be the ones who are contributing here to tell us, like, what happened. We had some men say it's anger, some people said it's their childhood uh, things that happened to them. Also, the pressure. The other thing that make men abusive is like pressure to provide that makes them feel inadequate, okay? Sometimes your man is out there trying to make ends meet, but he's not possible at the moment, like he's trying, okay? So because you're seeing that he's not trying, you're not trying to respect him because of that. What is he gonna do to make you feel like he's a man? Put his hands on you, okay? Everything when it comes to men, it always leads to the only way that he can be able to show you that he's a man. Put his hands on you, okay? And this is pathetic, I'm sorry, okay? When you feel like it's pathetic, because this is real story, you haven't seen anybody, okay? Guys, let me know if you literally say that like abuse never happens, okay? Men never get abusive, okay? Me personally, I am not even trying to raise my hand, because this is a personal story, like this is something that I've seen with my own eyes. The village that I grew up on was very patriarchal, a very patriarchal society, okay? And that's what always happened, okay? Men were supposed to be in control, and the moment he doesn't feel in control, what does he do? He shows you that he's in control by putting his hands on you. That's the only way that he can show you that he's a man. Okay? Yeah, so let me put this question out here. I think we have already asked Ken mentioned. Do you think abusive men are created by society, or is it just their personality? Do you think abusive men are created by society, or is it just their personality? Oh my god, I didn't put an exclamation mark, but it is what it is. Okay, who said I haven't seen anything? Okay. Do you think abusive men are created by society, or is it their personality thing? Honestly, I honestly do believe that society have everything to do with what happens when it comes to abuse. Okay, society had normalized, but I am so glad that we have the, thanks to feminism, thanks to all of these things, and thanks to everybody who have been able to come up, and also making women see their rights, making women see that like they can do way better. Like right now, you literally don't have to take what are they called, breadcrumbs, just just so that you can have a roof over your head. Go back home, okay? So do you think abusive men are created by society, or is it just their personality? I think society have 100% something. It's something that have been passed down from one generation to another, okay? You can't just wake up and think it's fine to put your hands on somebody, okay? Because for example, when we are in school and we don't, okay, not, let me not take school, formal setting, even at a workplace, okay, when you guys don't agree, you literally talk it out. You don't put your hands on each other, but because it's normalized, like you can literally put your hands on your partner, that's why it happens. So for me, to the question of like, do you think abusive men are created by society, I would say 101% abusive men are created by society, by fathers putting their hands on mothers, and the young boy who is being brought up in this household, looking at that, that's literally what he's gonna be when he grows up. Okay, somebody said that like when men abuse women, they're literally revenging for their mom. Somebody said that, but it was literally their own way of the way they saw it, like this young boy is trying to revenge for their mom. So to the question of like, do you think abusive men are created by society, in my opinion, yes. I would like to know yours. I would like to know what your answer is. Do you think abusive men are created by society? Sorry. Uh, do you, okay, Hassan says, do you understand men have the most responsibility? Families depend on men for centuries. Families depended on men for centuries, and for men to come home to women screaming and mentally abusing them, I can see why you have trauma of abuse. Okay, oh my lord, oh my lord. So because you're out there, first of all, like nobody tells you, these men that we are talking about here, like what did you say, that most okay, families dependent on men for centuries, okay? And you know what, who are they supposed to depend on? This man is out here having 3 women, 3 wives, okay, because it's a patriarchal society, so a man is allowed to have as many women as possible. This man is out here with 3 women, 5 women, and he's impregnated all of them. So that we are talking about 30 children, 20 children, okay? So what do you mean? Okay, what do you mean when you say that like he's supposed to provide? That's just what it is. You're not out here trying to like fill the world, and you try not to provide. So yeah, I would absolutely 100% recommend. Also, these women who remain back at home with children, they're out there trying to come this. Do you know what it is like to deal with like 10 children? Also think about what it is like for these women to give birth to more than like 10 children. Oh my god. But I see what you're saying. Bob says, hi Bob, welcome to the building. I think it's a combination of society and bad personality. Okay, expound on that. And Bob, what we are talking about is like, why do men get abusive in relationships? And I know you can get deep on that, or like, let me know, in your opinion or personal experiences, why do men get abusive in relationships? Bob says, I mean, years ago, nice guys finish last was a popular statement, for example. Okay? And the fact that women are attracted to bad boys, that's also another thing. Women are attracted to bad boys. So women are attracted to men who put their hands on them. Okay? Like what Hassan is saying right here. See, you're stuttering. This is okay. Let me tell you, there's nothing that you can say about stuttering and whatever that can make me back out of this. Okay, first of all, okay, And the reason I haven't told you to get school, because I see you just have a different opinion, okay? So it is what it is. Okay, so we are still talking about why do men get abusive in relationships. I've talked about anger issues. The only way that men are allowed to express themselves is through anger. So another thing that, and I think that's the point that we are at right now, is control and power. When a woman is earning more, okay, she's setting boundaries, she's independent, she's doing all these other things, she's being herself. So a man feels threatened by that, okay? Another thing that we've talked about is insecurity. Okay. You might need to get another glass of juice, because I see you're getting embarrassed. Why would I get embarrassed? Like, I cannot get embarrassed about abuse my sister or my brother. I don't know if you're male or female, okay? You can't get embarrassed over that, because that's just reality, okay? Abuse happens and it is what it is, okay? It doesn't matter if you say it never happens. Good for you, it never happens. Very fortunate for you, it never happened to anybody that you care about. Very fortunate for you that, like, when men are out there hunting and they're allowed to express what they feel. So it's not, and also I think you're also demonizing the topic. For example, like, you're literally demonizing and also making it feel like it's all about bitterness. It's not about bitterness, it's trying to understand men, okay? And men know on this channel, like, we have most men on the channel, so it's only right for me to know, why do men get abusive? Because I want to know, okay? I really care about the men in the chat. Bob says, I don't have the data, but I would have assumed women who make no income would get abused more. Okay, it's okay. And you know what, there's that, okay, there's that. When you're depending on somebody and they know that you're desperate, oh my god, there's so many factors. But even the other way around, it works. Men like to be in control, men like to provide, and that's something that I know for sure. So what we are talking about the other way around, it also makes sense, like, and I know it happens. If you're just sitting there, you're not doing anything with your life, you're just sitting there waiting for somebody to provide for you there. Yes, they're gonna abuse you, you beggar. Like, you're just there borrowing, okay, having nothing of your own. They know you don't have any backup plan, you don't have an option, why are you not gonna get abused? Emmanuel so says, greetings from Ghana. Okay, greetings from Ghana, good to see you, thank you so much for joining in. Let me know, why do men get abusive in relationships? And also, we have a question pinned on the chat. If you don't mind, you can answer. Awi Great says, hello Awi, good to see you. Where are you watching me from? My name is Omboy. We are talking about why do men get abusive in relationships, and Bob have brought up a good topic, a good point, talking about if a woman can't provide for herself, you're literally being desperate. So this person is literally gonna abuse you, because you're also just being a liability, okay? You're not being an asset. So why would somebody value you? Why would somebody not put their hands on you, okay? Okay. Okay, so good for you. That's just what you're seeing. So good for you. Hello as you go, okay? Guys, we have a question on the screen. What's this? Do you think abusive men are created by society, or is it just personality? I think society does. Patriarchal, especially patriarchal society. I think I am so glad that, like, right now, I still want men to be the head of the families. I still want men to be the head of the, because men are naturally leaders, and I do know that. But then at the same time, I also don't want women to be on the receiving end, okay? I don't want women to be out there, like, fighting for their lives, out there risking their everything, okay? Yeah, so I literally don't want that. So do you think abusive men are created by society, or is it just their personality? So that's a good question. So my answer definitely is they are created by the society, patriarchal society, to be literally specific, okay? Mm-hmm. Uh, so the other thing was just to ask, like, how do you know somebody? But I know, I don't know what's the statistics. I looked yesterday when it comes to women abusing men, and the statistics are really low. But also, I also noted that it's because most men don't usually report when things happen to them. It's just like, oh, I'm a man, I'm gonna die with it, okay? I'm just a man, I'm not allowed to express myself. So that's what it is, okay? So why do men get abusive in relationships, you guys? So that's the question that we're asking ourselves. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Omboy. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, and all of those great things. So why do men get abusive in relationships according to your opinion? We've discussed so many things here. We've discussed control and power. We've discussed anger. When men report, they get laughed at. Okay, and you know what, that's just what it is. But you know, in Middle East, there was a case in Yemen where a girl, she was beaten by her husband at late hours at night, okay? So she walked to the police station at night to report, okay? And she ended up being arrested because she didn't bring her husband to report this case. Okay, she never brought her husband. It's at night, like a woman is not allowed to walk at night alone, okay? Remember, she was walking to the police station to report that. But because it was illegal, women were supposed to be home, I think, by 6 or I don't know, okay? So the fact that she walked, she got arrested, and she got arrested for not bringing. So how are you gonna tell somebody who just put their hands on you, oh, can you walk me to the police station to report you, okay? So you can literally see what I'm talking about. Okay, and I think, let me tell you one thing, and this is just not okay, and I think, for example, also religion is also a contributing factor, okay? Look at when it comes to Christianity, and when it comes to preachings, okay? Most pastors do emphasize on the part where, like, women are supposed to be what is it called, obedient, and to be kind of like to be subjects to their men, okay? But here is the catcher. When you look at Islam and the whole Quran thing, okay, like, the man holds the power. The man is the one, is the determinant, like the dominant factor, okay? Literally, when it even comes to prayers, when you look at Quran and the way the setup is, women stay behind even the small boys, because the small boys, they do hold the power. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. As Swin Millie Rock says, they get laughed at because they think getting abused by women is shameful. Another stigma caused by patriarchy. Yeah, okay, good. Thank you for bringing up this point. Okay, it's another thing that's brought up by patriarchy. Honestly, I don't know. Do you guys feel like patriarchy? Because right now, patriarchy is really getting dissolved. It's still here, but maybe in the next generation, within the next 100 years, it's gonna be a very different looking society, because we are kind of like, people are gonna be equals, okay, mostly. Because a man being laughed at, because some of these women can literally be abusive, so a man being laughed at just because, oh, how can a woman hit you, like, how can a woman hit you, oh, you should have hit her back, okay? Some men are just good men and they don't want to get abusive, okay? So I was also talking about religion, okay? Religion is another factor that has caused men to be abusing women, especially, and I don't want to come off, like, especially when you look at Islam and the way women are supposed to cover themselves to their feet. A man can marry 4 women, and these 4 women are supposed to be loyal to this man. It just doesn't make sense. And I think it's just an example of what patriarchy is, even in religion. That's why sometimes I normally doubt the religion thing, because it's like, are we even serious? Okay? Bob says, don't be the opposite of the other hateful guy. We won't get a productive discussion that way. Part of the reason they get laughed at is because people are shocked it happened. Yeah, like, wow, you got, you would literally make headlines. You would literally make headlines. There's somebody who made headlines here in Kenya, because it was literally almost the first time to ever hear that, like, a woman tried to chop off a man's genitals. It was a big story. Men were laughing, telling each other, did you hear that? Because it was never heard of. Okay, it was never heard of. So when things like that happen, it's just because it's uncommon, and it's usually the other way around, men abusing women. Okay. Bahati Mori says hi to you, good to see you guys, welcome to the live stream. Make sure you are liking and subscribing, guys. So another reason why men abuse women is fear of judgment. Societal stigma and expectation to maintain a strong image can prevent men from seeking help and acknowledging their situation. Okay, when things are going south, because you're supposed to be, you're the man, you've been told like you're literally the man, so you'd rather get abusive than seek help. Okay. Bob says, in the northern parts of Nigeria where Islam is currently practiced, where it used to be women picking the men. Wow. Oh, okay. First of all, like, let me tell you, and it's not even religion shaming, okay? But I think we should be thinking twice before we get so, what is it called? Before we get so deep into a religion, we should literally be thinking twice. Because think about it. So I'm supposed to cover myself from head to toe, like every part of my body should be covered, and the man doesn't have to cover anything. Does that even make sense? Okay. Another thing, I'm supposed to what else? Everything literally doesn't make sense. Okay, I am supposed to be loyal to you when you have 4 women. Does that even make sense? Okay, so many things, like you can discipline me and I can't talk. I'm supposed to serve you and God. Okay, we literally need to be so aware of these things. Another reason is self-worth issues. Men who feel unworthy or believe they deserve the abuse. Okay, so some men, they're just having some self-worth issues, so that's just what it is. Okay. Do you know Kase? No. Welcome to the live stream. Let me know where you're watching me from. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. Oh my God, it just means the world to me. And we are talking about, why do men get abusive in relationships? Why do men get abusive in relationships? That's what we are talking about. Why do men get abusive in relationships? Okay. Make sure you're sending us your opinion. Okay. But I think amongst all the reasons that we are talking about, learned behavior is the major one. Learned behavior, like the fact that you saw your parents doing it, you will not be any different. Okay, you will still do it because that's just what you think is what's best for you. Okay. Yeah, but this is literally a topic that, like, have been avoided. We saw the other person here trying to say that it never happens. Who knows what they are into? Who knows? Maybe it happens to them, but they're just being in denial. Okay. Oh my God, it's raining cats and dogs out here, Lord. Okay. So I think maybe the question is not why do men get abusive in relationships. Maybe the question is, what can be done to solve all these problems that men go through that lead them to have these reactions when they are triggered, when they are upset. Maybe the question is, like, what can we do to make men feel better about themselves? Maybe it's because what opportunities can we give men? Because right now I think we have a problem because everybody is for the girl child, okay? Everybody is trying to get the girl educated. Everybody is trying to protect the girl. Also, men are being raped, okay? Nobody talks about how men are being abused sexually also by women who are financially capable, financially able. Nobody talks about all these things that are happening, okay? Maybe it's time to also empower the man so that, like, all these insecurities, all these things of, like, you're not good enough. So I think another thing that we can also do in our households, if you're a father, make sure your children don't grow up seeing you being abusive. Make sure, okay? And don't even be hiding it, because children can read, okay? Children can be able to sense, okay? Banuka Ekanayeke says, are you AI? Do I look like AI? Welcome to the live stream, guys. Like. Can we get somebody to like? We need some 20 likes here. Bob says, I think the first step has to be letting men show emotions without judgment. And that's a huge one, okay? I even never thought about it, okay? If a man can cry, then he will not feel a need to like throw tantrums. If a man can just cry and like, oh, this is not fine, okay? Let me tell you, if I ever become a parent and I'm raising boys, my boys will be crying a handful, okay? But I just, okay, let them be whatever they want to be. Let them be simps if you guys want to call them that. But I'm not going to be raising people telling them, oh, be hard, okay? You're sick, don't cry. A man cannot cry. A man never cries. What is that? Like, for example, when my dad lost his mom, that man never cried, but you could see he was literally shattered in him, okay? What teaches us that like men can't cry even when they lose people that they love? You know, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. It's okay to say that one of us needs to be strong and it's definitely the man, but telling somebody to shut off their emotions? No. Emmanuel says, greetings from Ghana. Greetings to you, Emmanuel. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Omboy. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. We normally go like Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So always look for me around that hour. So on this live stream specifically, we've been talking about why do men get abusive in relationships. But what are the solutions? Now, that's what we're talking about right now. What are the solutions? I think Emmanuel have said like allow men to express their emotions. Another solution is give equal opportunities, okay? We have been out here empowering girls, I think, for years. The whole 21st century have been about empowering girls and women, okay? But men are getting lost on the other side, like nobody cares if they are drug addicts, nobody cares what they become. Let us also, maybe the other thing is also to give equal opportunity to men and women, to also empower men, okay? The insecurity thing, that's just a personal journey that somebody can do. A man can walk a personal journey of healing his wounds, of a man can walk a personal journey of like, you know, most of the time, and this is something that I've observed with men, a man will go naked while he is buying a lady everything that a lady needs, making sure that the lady has well done hair, nice bags, nice shoes, nice everything. You know, before you do that, why don't you divide the money into two and do that to yourself? So as you upgrade your woman, as you make her look good, as you make your woman look better, make sure you're also doing that for yourself, so that at the end of the day, you're not feeling like she's better than you, okay? The whole other issue is like, okay, keep upgrading yourself, learn skills. You know, you have to keep updating yourself so that you don't feel like you're insecure, you don't feel like you're not good enough. You know what I'm saying? The learned behavior thing, I think we've talked about that. Like, I think men need to literally stop putting their hands on their women in front of the children. Even not even in front, just stop doing that, okay? So that like, okay, when you are about to do that, you're like, okay, my father never did that to my mom, so why would I literally do it? Why would I do it? Another thing is entitlement. I think this one has no solution, because you have to feel entitled. You love this person, this is your person, you have to feel entitled. But the feeling of entitled, like you own them, doesn't mean that you should put your hands on them, okay? So the accountability, this is also a call to women, like, make sure you're reporting men who are being abusive. Make sure you're reporting even women, or even men. If you get abused, make sure you're reporting. I don't care who laughs, okay? You just report. Even if you're a man, you get abused by a woman, just report. And also women who get abused by men, make sure you're reporting. Stop hiding somebody who is literally gonna take you out, okay? Stop hiding these people, like report them, okay? Let them learn their lessons. And also just be out there, start from somewhere, okay? Bob says men should stop settling too. I think Bob is for men. Men should stop settling too, and open communication should be encouraged. Yeah. That is it. Like, keep upgrading yourself, and I think that is to everybody, whether male or female. Keep upgrading yourself, keep working on yourself. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or if you're not. At the end of the day, the only person that you got, the only constant that you have in your life is yourself. You can love somebody so much, they can love you back so much, but the only constant you have is yourself. So you gotta keep working on yourself, you gotta keep working on who you are. When all is said and done, you only got yourself, and that's what it is right there. Okay. That's just what it is out there. But just sitting here and just saying that, like, abuse doesn't happen, it's not what it is. Okay, it's not what it is. Like, abuse happens, and it's happening. It's even happening tonight for somebody. Okay, so we can't sit here and say it never happens. We can only say it happens, but what's the solution to it? What's the solution to it? That's the real question that we have to ask ourselves. What's the reason? Abuse certainly happened. Okay, I wish you came on in and said that when we had this lady here saying that abuse never happens. That I'm just dreaming. Okay, I'm just dreaming. Like, abuse never happens. It does happen. Okay, and when it happens, especially when it happens to you, you will not like it. You will not like it. Okay. So ask me any question or bring up any topic that you'd like to talk about for the next maybe we are talking about 30 minutes hanging out here, guys. My name is Omboy. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Bob says, I knew a guy who, when life hits him hard, he goes out to drink, and when his wife talks back to him, he beats her. Wow. He was because he's literally looking for somebody to get it out on. Okay, well, well, let's say you've been fired. When you go home, you beat your wife. Like, it doesn't make sense. She's not the problem right here. And whenever you get drunk, you go home, you beat her, and then you say, oh, sorry, it's not me, it's the alcohol. Like, what? Okay, what? And I think it's our duty as a society to call out people like that. Like, okay, remind them that the wife is not the problem. I think another solution that's out there is, like, women to, like, work so hard on themselves. Like, have something of your own. Be prepared. Get yourself educated. Okay, get yourself some skills. You just want to have somewhere to start. When all is said and done. That's why I said choosing better and open communication. Yeah, that's what it is. I think you're usually so, like, I think you usually, like, count so much on, like, somebody's choice. Okay, when you see red flags, run. Okay, you see somebody is trying to hit you on your first date, run. Okay, that person is never gonna change. Bob says he should be able to talk to her instead of drinking alcohol, and she shouldn't have married someone who beats her. Okay, and also, like, there should be a safe space at home where, like, he feels like he can talk to her. Okay, if you're in a relationship where, like, you're going through something and you cannot tell somebody, is that even realistic? Is that even healthy? Okay, because at the end of the day, the person that you should be telling the issues that you're going through, doesn't care if they are shameful, doesn't care what they are. It's literally your woman, and they should be there to support you And the other way around, like, I should be telling my man my problems and like, okay, not putting our hands on each other, not throwing tantrums, not being upset with each other for absolutely no reason. That shouldn't be happening, but unfortunately it does happen. Okay, so it is what it is. Okay, so if you have something that we can talk about out of topic or something, bring it on. Wow. Uh-huh. It's raining now. I'm having to like shout, and I'm hoping you guys can hear me. I'm having to like shout, so you guys can be able to hear me. Okay, I think when we started doing this live, we were talking about non-negotiables when it comes to relationships, things that like it's that gives you an ick. We did talk about things that gives you an ick. Okay, and I think this topic also refers back to that, like make sure you keep adjusting your non-negotiables every now and then when it comes to relationships, because you might, let me tell you, you might get into a relationship, a healthy person, a healthy, very healthy person with a lot of confidence. You didn't have problems, you are okay with what you had, you are doing good in life. You are not doing great, but you are just okay with what you are. Okay, and then you meet somebody who literally changes your life to the negative. Okay, so let us be so aware how dating is broken in 2026. Oh my god, fill me in. I don't have information because I'm settled. Let me tell you, one of the things that I'm afraid of is the whole dating, and I think it's still the same like it was in 2024. Was it 2024? Yeah, I think it's still the same. Like I was talking about the other day, like how on dating sites you're there. We all know, because you are on a dating site, I am on a dating site. We all know why we are there. Okay, let us not stop pretending like, oh, you're there against your will. You downloaded the app so you want to be on the dating app. Okay, so why are you pretending as if like somebody forced you into it or something? Like, we are all grown-ups. Like, say hi, stop beating around the bush. Like, what are you doing here? Like, are we children? Okay, and also for those who are doing face to face, the whole thing is like, let me tell you, the whole thing is just like so messed up. Oh my god, I think there are gonna be less marriages in them. And also, it's already is like, I haven't had anybody in my family get married, like wedding ceremony or something. I don't know if you just hear like somebody just got pregnant or they impregnated somebody and that's just what it is. Okay. Bob says, I don't know if it's just my country, but you have to pay for love. What does that mean? Does that mean like you have to assist the woman with the bills? Okay. Because I know like you're gonna be paying for nails, you're gonna be paying for hair, you're gonna be paying for here and there. Oh, just that's what it is. Okay. Okay, but you know, is love supposed to be bought? Should you feel like you're literally running a business when you're looking for love, or should you feel like, you know, I'm so happy for being a provider, I'm so happy for providing? What should you feel? What should you naturally feel? I once made a mistake of telling a lady I found her attractive around her birthday. She sends me screenshot of people giving her money and asks me to double it. Wow. Okay, oh, she sends you her bucket list. Things in her bucket list. You choose one. What? Okay, honestly, personally, and I think it's fortunate enough. I am so low maintenance when it comes to that. Like, I feel like the man that I'm with is supposed to feel like he's providing just out of him feeling like he wants to. Like, I just don't want to be somebody like out of nowhere. I'm putting bills in your face. And you just met me last week. Okay, I was watching something on Koramo, and somebody said that he met someone, they slept together, and then the next day she borrowed she borrowed him money, and then after 1 week she started claiming that she was pregnant. Like, and from that on, can you give me a loan? Literally from the moment they met, it's all been transactional. Okay. uh, Godson says, Bob, you can send her something small just to make her happy, but don't have the relationship revolve around money. Okay. Because I think you're gonna be setting rules around there, but seems like she's dated people who give her money, so there's nothing you can do if you're not willing to match up to the standard. Keep working. Look for your type. Look for your type. Okay, keep working. uh, I see sending money on the onset as a red flag. On whose side? Whose side is it, guys? Is it a red flag to send a female money on the onset? Why not? Like, for example, if she's going through something, you have to bail her out. That's why I keep saying that the traditional men, they are supposed to be respected. Can you imagine providing for somebody that you didn't give birth to and you just feel perfectly fine? Like, that's what it is. That's what's supposed to be. Me sending you money should be no consequences to the relationship. But you're not providing. That's just what it is. You're not providing. That's the problem. You don't want it to have consequences, but literally you're not providing. What do you expect? Like, if I send money to her, it should not affect her love for me. Yeah, it should not affect her love. But how do you expect? Your lady is hungry, okay? What else? She doesn't have handbags. Her rent is not paid. Her makeup is not done. Her hair is not. How do you expect her to be happy? It's not about the love, okay? How do you expect your lady to be happy if you're not helping her out? Like, okay, and she's not telling you, but I'm just playing devil's advocate. Sending her money makes it feel like I'm paying her to love me. No, you're not. You're just providing. Will you feel that if you guys are married? Like, if you guys are married and you're buying things here and there in the household, you're doing this and that here and there, will you feel that way? Godson says, I agree with you somewhat, Bob. Her asking to double any amount of money that was given to her is problematic, okay? Because sometimes you don't have, but that's where you get to learn what this type of person is. Can you afford them, okay? And I think I did see a man say, like, date women who are within your budget, okay? Okay, you meet a woman, she's already driving Mercedes, okay? So you can also imagine, to make her happy, you have to buy her fuel. She lives in a very expensive apartment, so you have to also make sure you are financing that. What else? She has all these needs. Date ladies that are within your budget. Like, stop dating people who are not on your budget. Like, they're not within what you plan to spend, okay? Like, for example, just, yeah, okay, date people who you can afford. If she's hungry, I'll give her food, not money. Okay, and I'm gonna keep saying, that's when you see, okay, if this person, she even have a friend group where they send each other money during birthdays. So can you be able to be doing that every other time, doubling? So that's where you get down to, do I want to continue doing this? Do you live in the US? Nigeria. Where do you live in, Godson? Danielle Bissett says, hello from, what? That flag is from which country? God, let me know which country is that, Danielle. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Wamboy. Guys, make sure you are liking the live and subscribing. Firari says, Blue says, hey girl, hey to you. We are talking about something very important here. Bob is saying, like, whenever a lady borrows her money on the onset of their relationships, or like, that literally is a turn off for him. Okay, so also he's saying that, like, he's not supposed to be feeling as if he's paying for the love. Okay, here he says, "Where are you from?" I'm from Kenya. Kenya. Where are you from? Fiery. Is it fiery or fiery? Fiery. Godson says, Daniel, I also want to know which that flag is from which country. Godson says, okay, so Bob, I wouldn't send more than 70,000 naira to a woman unless I'm in a relationship with her. Seven. Wow. Okay. What is the conversion rate? Can you convert 70,000 naira to USD so I can know how much is that? I won't send 70k. That's minimum wage. Well, which country are you from, Godson? Okay, first of all, can you guys convert 70,000 naira to USD? Oh my god, 50 USD. That's god. That's literally nothing. Minimum wage where? That's literally nothing here. I think 50,000 out here is like 8k, 8k, or maybe 9, something of that sort. Wow, the minimum wage in Nigeria is 50 USD. What? Bob Manuel says, if she can't love me without my name showing up in her bank statement, it's not worth it. Okay? God, wow. 70,000 naira is like, hey, 8,000 Kenya shillings. Wow. That's literally a little bit. That's little. Like, okay, so Godson, are you from the US? Because I would like to know, like, so 50 USD, if you're from the US, is the minimum you can send somebody. Unless you're in a relationship with them. Wow. Fiery says, do you love William Ruto? I think we're gonna determine that next year during the voting process. Okay. Welcome to the live stream, guys. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much. We're talking about this. Bob is saying that, like, when a lady borrows him money on the onset of the relationship, or makes him feel like the relationship is transactional, he doesn't want to be in the relationship anymore. It's literally a red flag for him. He wants to keep working. Okay, I'm not from US, but I live and work here. Okay, but you have to agree with me, like 50 USD literally can't do anything. Okay, you telling Bob 70,000 naira, like, wow. Okay, like, I think with 50, but you know what? Yeah, if it's somebody you're not in a relationship with, then no. Wow, guys. Welcome to the live stream. It's good to see, you know, this channel helps me to see how men think and how men resonate when it comes to relationships. Oh my god. Yeah. Honestly, it is so good to be out of the dating pool, like to be in a relationship and feeling like you're settled. It just makes you feel so good, because at the end of the day, the whole dealing with everybody on the streets, like, no, it's just not worth it. I just like the feeling of being settled and you can focus on other things in your life. Benjamin Guzman says, oh, the Guzman. Hi, good to see you, Benjamin. Welcome to the live stream. Where are you watching me from? Guys, can somebody like the live? Somebody like the live, at least we can get some 20 likes in here. Gosa says, Bob, I agree with you. US minimum wage is $1,250. There's no way I'm sending that kind of money to anyone except my parents or my sisters. What if you're married? What if you have a woman and okay? What if you have a woman? What if you have a woman, okay? Because you guys also want to enjoy the privileges of having these women, but you literally don't want to finance their lifestyles. Okay, you want to meet a lady, she have a good wig, she has nice clothes, she has good makeup. You just want to meet her and tell her you're pretty. Okay, you don't want to know where they're coming from. Okay, And the other time when you when you go to a house and somebody you find some man's shoes there, you want to get upset. Okay, 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 that makes sense if you're single now. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, because you can't want to like have the privilege of being the one who is in charge when it comes to the her body and all these things, but you're not providing. Okay, every time you see her show up with good things, great things, but for you it's just okay. Bob says, if I have a wife, the rules would be different. I'll take care of my wife. She's my other half. Oh, okay. That literally changed the whole dynamic. Ah, Lord. Okay, you guys are so funny. If I'm in a relationship, that's different. I'm not as stingy as our friend Bob. Okay, Bob is saying he cannot give a woman 50 USD. Okay, Bob is saying he can't give a woman 50 years, which is little 8,000 Kenya shillings. Okay, and do you know some of these wigs are even more expensive than that? Some of these wigs or even cost like $230. If I spend money on every woman, I'll be home. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's just the truth. That's why you should look for the one that you want to spend everything on. Somebody that you know is constant. Otherwise, yeah. But also it depends with like how many people are you meeting along the way. Because if it's one in like 5 years, it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. Wow, God, this literally have opened my eyes to that. Wow, but it's interesting. Let me tell you, like that's why I think that's why men are choosing to like do these whole things of like masturbation, uh, pornography, and even also the what is it called, sex workers. Okay, I think that's why people are choosing that, because at the end of the day, like it's just a lot of it to own somebody. Like it's a lot of it. I think there's somebody who was quoting, is it cheaper to like buy milk? What is cheaper, to buy milk or to God? How does that go? To buy milk or to own a cow or to buy milk? What's easier? Like I think what's easier. And then okay, Godson says 50 USD is a lot of money in Nigeria. You have to understand his perspective. Okay. Okay, but okay, of course it depends with the conversion rate. I wasn't thinking about that. Okay, conversion rate. Yeah. Wow. God. If you're from Nigeria, you go to the US and you work, you can literally come home with good money and change your life. Bob says, last year I was in talking stage with more than 10. Imagine if I did cash transfers for all. Wow, why 10? Why 10? Why are you sampling 10 people? Is it like an interview thing? Wow, 10 people. That's a lot of them. Bob says, if I work in the US and come back to Nigeria, I don't think I'll date Nigerian women. You will be loaded. Okay? You made me think about like making a lot of Kenya shillings and moving to Nigeria. But, let me tell you some place where the USD goes so far. Because even the Kenya shillings go so far. I think it's Uganda or Tanzania. I don't know which country it is. Like, even the Kenya shillings go so far out there. Bob says, it's better I date them here, and then we go together and work in the US, okay? And then come back, have a great life. If I work in the US and come back to Nigeria, I don't think I'll date Nigerian women. You will have upgraded, okay? Bob, the women in the US are not better than Nigerian women, believe me. I've been living here since 2001. Wow, that's been a minute. Okay, that's been a minute. What? That's been a minute. No. We don't get paid per hour. We just get paid per month, I think so. Yeah, per month. Most jobs are just per month. I think most people who are employed make between 20,000 Kenya shillings and 70,000. The minimum people, I think so. Wow. Okay, I think there's this whole thing. I think we have this thing or feeling of like, because somebody is American, they are better than the people we have back home. But honestly, maybe not. Maybe not. The materialism in America, is highest level in the world. But you know what? Even if I was in America, I would also be materialistic. The kind of bills that Americans pay, okay, the kind of, like, you can't be the same. And also, it's a capitalist world. So what do you mean? You want to give me $30? Okay. Hey, what you, huh? I don't know. You in America? No. Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. My name is Womboy. We've been talking about, hey, Lord, we've been talking about why do men abuse women in relationships? Why do men get abusive? We've talked about that, and then now at the moment, Bob is talking about like if he's in a relationship and somebody is trying to get money out of him during the first days, he just feels like it's a red flag, because if he keeps giving everyone who he dates, he's gonna end up homeless. So that's what we're talking about for context. Bob says, so now for my generation, when it comes to relationships, okay? Oh my God. That's what it is. Okay. I don't think anyone is better. Like, I don't think women in Britain are better than the ones in Kenya. I just feel like it's just because where the country that you're born, the environment that you're born in, literally dictates how you think most of the time. The type of people you are around, it dictates your mindset. If you have a poverty mindset or like an abundance mindset, so all these things are factors that do matter. So at the end of the day, we can sit here and say that like people who are born in other countries like US, Europe, we can say that they are better. It just means that they are born in a different environment. So which means they adapt to that environment. Okay, that doesn't mean that they are any better than women out here. Kama Wamboy says my name. Okay. Oh my God, we do share a name. Somebody was saying they've never seen somebody with my name, but see, somebody have my name. Welcome to the live stream. Make sure you're subscribing because we have the same name. Godson says, Wamboy, now you see what I meant. If I send 50 to a woman in the US, is just for lunch and dinner and to get noticed. Okay, it's like, what are you trying to do? Okay. Like 50 shillings, $50 in the US, like you're trying to what is it called? David Njoroge says, when it comes to money, the Kikuyu in me becomes active. So, David, are you giving women money when you meet them? Like, when you start talking, you haven't even defined the relationship. This is literally not your woman, but it's somebody that you're seeing. So are you giving them money, or it's like, no, thank you? CJK Dinoff says, I sent a friend 50 USD to Nigeria. She was ecstatic. That meant a lot to her. Okay, that's what I'm being told. Like, I just asked the people in the chat to convert 50 USD to Nigeria money, and it was 70,000. Oh my god, that would literally, wow. That's 70,000. That's life changing. Like 70,000 and it's just 50 US. You can only imagine if you go there with your US dollar. Like, wow, you can literally live a soft life. Okay. Wow. And I don't know. Let me tell you. I think the other day I was researching and I found out that they stopped keeping gold. They stopped keeping gold. They stopped keeping gold. So I am just wondering, like, how are we able to know which currency is stronger? Is it just some type of like favorism when it comes to like which money is strong? I think right now the pound is stronger. The last time that I checked, pound was stronger. But how do we determine which money is stronger? Because we literally stopped keeping gold, and you guys can correct me on that one for the people who are in the finance department. But then our monthly internet bill is like that again. Okay, you know what? That's why I usually scroll and I'm seeing Nigerians and somebody is saying, oh, my rent was 50,000. I'm like, your rent was 50,000? I'm like, what? Because like, for example, in the US, you'll find somebody who's saying that their rent is like $700. You might think, oh, 700 only, but that's a lot of money out there. Okay. David Njoroge says, I'm not stingy. If we are in the courtship process, I have no problem spending on her. But that doesn't mean she asked for the impossible early in the relationship. For the impossibles early in the relationship, okay? Oh, wow. The US dollar is the global reserve currency, okay? Nixon stopped the convertibility to gold. Oh. Okay. Okay, because now that is just like, it just looks like it's usually like 150K at least and all the way up. What? God, 50K. You know, it's like, for me, it's like usually like a bed sitter, like out here, a bed, you can find a bed sitter for 4,000, 5,000. But when you convert that to Nigerian money, it can literally add up to that type of money that you're talking about. But wow. 150K at least and all the way up. Okay, I think you guys have a lot of printed money. That's the problem that you guys are facing. You have a lot of printed money and that's why the prices of things like goes up. Hey, how much is 150? Because now I have to know how much is, let me convert. $150. Oh, 150K. Oh, 14,000. Okay, it's 14,265 Kenya shillings. Reasonable. Okay, reasonable. Okay, 14,000 Kenya shillings, reasonable. But oh, okay, why don't you guys like? Okay, but it's all about the government and stuff. If people start printing the money, and you don't have to say my rent is 150K, like it just doesn't. Okay, you know, because even me, like out here, I'm like, why can't we just use? How? What if the world uses one currency and one currency only? We used to sell our oil. We used to sell our oil, okay, and import fuel. Okay, okay, wow. So it's like, so 150 is like 14,000 Kenya shillings. See, makes sense. See, JK Dinov says, she says her rent is like 234 USD a year in Nigeria. Wow. Okay, it's just like the conversion rate out there is just a lot. Out here is, I think 1 USD is equals to 130 Kenya shillings. It's still a lot, but it's not like in Nigeria. Like in Nigeria, you go there with like 10,000 USD, you're literally a millionaire. But having a weaker currency isn't necessarily a bad thing. Why? It would be nice if we exported more goods. Okay, wow, 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 wow. Interesting. God, let me tell you guys, this conversation have been so eye-opening, especially we were talking about why do men abuse women. If you haven't commented on that one, or if you are not part of the debate, if you would like to contribute, let us know. Why do men get abusive in relationships? And I would like to, we've been see I think most men here were telling me what's the reason women get them angry, the pressure to provide, insecurity, learned behavior, childhood scars. Oh, China used to weaken their currency for that reason. Okay, wow. Okay, and you know, Chinese money right now is up there, almost to the same level with USD. I think from since Trump took office, and I'm not whatever you're trying to think, from since Trump took office, the USD have really gone down. The pound have been holding up there, up in the list. God, this has been such a nice moment spending time with you guys. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So convert that to your local time. Make sure you're subscribed so that you can get notified. Otherwise, you might not see me again if you don't subscribe. So you guys, thank you so much. Oh my God, it's been so eye-opening. And the fact that we talked about the topic that we wanted to talk about, and then we started looking at other topics. Bob says a lot of people confuse having a stronger currency for a better economy. Because I'm one of those people who confuse. I think having a stronger currency means a better economy. Okay, wow, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being team I am on boy. We are still continuing growing on this channel. Make sure you are sharing with your friends. We're still gonna be here when we get there. Okay, make sure you keep working hard on yourself than you work on your job. Keep betting on yourself. Stay delusional. That's the point. Let us stay delulu. Delulu is the solution. Yeah, I want to take my life savings and move to Nigeria. Okay? God, you might have a blast out there. Another place you might want to try, I don't know if it's Uganda or Tanzania. 1 USD is equals to like 1,000. Which country is that before we close off? That 1 USD is equals to 1,000. Is it Tanzania or Uganda? Somebody check for me. What country are you in? I'm in Kenya. 1 USD equals to 130. Move to my state, River State. No, I don't think it's Zimbabwe. I think it's one of either Tanzania or Uganda. Let me check. Now what do I search? Oh, let me search how much. Wow, 1 US dollar is equals to 3,739.52 Ugandan shillings. Let me tell you, if you have that USD, consider moving to Uganda. You might have a blast, but maybe I don't know how their lifestyle is out there. It might be in the trenches, because 1 US dollar equals to 3,739 in that country. Can you imagine? So, oh my God. So even if you go there with Kenya shillings, you might buy a lot of stuff. 3,739.52. Wow. One. So if you have 10 USD, you already have 10,000 Ugandan shillings. Oh my God. I mean, it's so unfair. Okay, it's so unfair. I think it's Ugandan, guys. So thank you so much. We've already been doing this for 2 hours. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, the same time, same place. Make sure you're watching my videos, guys. Tell a friend to tell a friend so that we can keep growing the channel. And until tomorrow, guys, bye bye.